The Gambian economy is facing its worst-ever downturn, marked by rising debt levels, sluggish growth, dependency, corruption, and increasing vulnerability to external shocks. While these factors play a major role amongst a plethora of factors causing Gambian economic stagnation and downturn, here are 7 underrated factors forcing the Gambian economy right on its knees and getting worse at an alarming speed. These 7 factors have been largely ignored for decades, stifling economic recovery and impeding any hopes of economic growth. Let's look at these 7 factors from a critical lens. Let's dive right in. The first factor is petty businesses in the hands of foreigners. The Gambia is nearly submerged into a complete takeover of its petty business sector by foreigners. Foreigners are running this sector, ranging from retail shops to grocery stores, leaving the Gambian people virtually feeling left out. According to a report by the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, over 70% of retail shops in urban areas, particularly in markets and shopping districts, are owned and operated by non-Gambians, mainly by Senegalese, Mauritanians, and Lebanese entrepreneurs. This clearly shows Gambians being dominated in their coin. Similarly, a study by the African Development Bank, AFDB, revealed that approximately 90% of small-scale grocery stores and corner shops, locally called boutiques, in urban centers like Serekunda and Banjul, are run by foreigners. These are 2 great Gambian cities being run by others besides Gambians. This is the same for the electronics sector as well. Research by the Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, found that foreigners control around 80% of the informal trade sector, which includes mobile phone shops, street vending, and second-hand clothing stores. As if this is not enough, this foreign dominance has also been felt in the tourism sector. According to the Gambia Tourism Board, 85% of small restaurants, cafes, and food stalls in key tourism zones are operated by foreign nationals, predominantly from Senegal and other West African countries. Even in the construction industry, data from the Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency, GIEPA, indicates that around 75% of small-scale construction-related businesses, including hardware shops and carpentry, are in the hands of foreign investors. Now, let's just pause and take it all in. Clearly, the petit business sector is in the hands of the foreigners instead of the Gambian people. But how is this related to the economy? To put it simply, foreigners are not Gambians, which means that the money made in the Gambia is twice more likely to be taken back to their original countries. This means that more money will be leaving the Gambian local economies, leaving little to no cash flow in circulation. This will only make the country dry. If these sectors were in the hands of the Gambian people themselves, it means the money would stay in the country and more money in circulation, stopping local economies from going dry. These statistics underscore the significant presence of foreign ownership in key sectors of the Gambian economy, particularly among small and medium-sized enterprises. This situation has sparked discussions on the need for policies that support local entrepreneurship and economic empowerment of Gambians. The second factor is the Gambia's zero economic vision. Currently, the Republic of the Gambia has no clear economic pathway, which shows where the economy is at the moment, where we need to be in the next couple of years, and how we are going to get there. There is no clear pathway to economic revival and growth. This has become the norm from the First Republic to the Third. People get elected into office just for the sake of the leadership position not being empty. Since the First Republic, there has never been one clear, concrete trajectory or pathway that could lead to economic revival. The National Development Plan is even the worst of them all. According to a report by the World Bank in 2019, less than 15% of the Gambia's key development plans, such as the National Development Plan, NDP 2018 to 2021, were effectively implemented due to weak governance, lack of funding, and inadequate institutional capacity. In a nutshell, having a solid plan is only a thing of lip service in the Gambia, with the Gambians not feeling the effect of what's being said. This has led to a complete loss of confidence in the population in terms of any hope of economic revival. A survey conducted by the Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, in collaboration with UNDP in 2020, revealed that 70% of Gambian youth expressed a lack of confidence in the country's economic policies, citing inconsistent economic strategies and poor leadership as primary concerns. These statistics highlight the challenges the Gambia faces in articulating a cohesive and actionable economic vision, impacting overall economic growth and development. The third factor is the Gambia's old system of governance. From the time of the First Republic to now, there has always been one system of governance and national development. Since the time of the First Republic, it has always been one thing: borrowing lots of money only to spend it on road constructions and bridge constructions or things that won't generate income. This is the sole reason the Gambia still has only two economic sectors since independence. There are no efforts whatsoever in spending these loans to integrate more economic sectors. It has gone so bad that now the two economic sectors the Gambian economy has been relying on have reached a breaking point where they are now crumbling. And the reality of lack of economic integration is setting in big time, with people falling into poverty at an alarming rate, which has never been witnessed before in the history of the Gambia. Furthermore, the same sets of old people who have been running the country for decades are the exact same people running the country with just a change in leadership position. Now, do you see the growing lack of innovation? Besides, not only that these people are old, but they will be more reluctant to a systemic change than young ones. According to a report by the Gambia Bureau of Statistics, GBOS, in 2021, 65% of senior government officials, including ministers and directors, are over the age of 60. This skew towards older leadership has been linked to the slow adoption of innovative policies and resistance to sound economic reforms. Clearly, there needs to be a systemic change. A study by the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, in 2020 found that the average tenure of top civil servants in the Gambia exceeds 20 years. Such prolonged service periods have resulted in entrenched bureaucratic practices that hinder institutional change and modernization. Can you see why the Gambia is still stuck in the Stone Age? Comment down below. The fourth factor ruining the Gambian economy is electing Adama Barrow into office. This is, honestly, one of the worst things happening to the Gambia right now, having broader and dire consequences on the Gambian economy. The current president of the Gambia is simply nothing short of a liability to the Gambian economy, unable to fine-tune the economy towards the right direction. In fact, his being in office has caused more damage than any of his predecessors. Thanks to him, the country's debt to GDP is close to $3 billion, seriously submerging the economy in severe debt due to his heavy foot on borrowing. According to the World Bank, the Gambia's national debt skyrocketed to nearly $3 billion in 2024, equivalent to 85% of its GDP. A significant portion of this debt is attributed to poor financial management and non-transparent borrowing practices by the government, exacerbating economic instability. His heavy reliance on borrowing and taxes has not only plunged the Gambian economy into complete disarray, but has independently pushed over 25,000 Gambians into poverty, as per the World Bank. In this manner, he remains a massive liability and a serial economic destroyer with no vision at all. This is a humble request to please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to the African Pacific YouTube channel, where we look at the happenings of the motherland that are often ignored by mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. The fifth factor plunging the Gambian economy into tatas is its limited industrial base. The Gambia lacks a diverse industrial base, which limits its capacity for economic diversification, job creation, and value-added production. According to the World Bank, as of 2022, the industrial sector in the Gambia contributes only about 13% to the country's GDP, significantly below the sub-Saharan African average of 25%. This limited industrial output restricts economic diversification and makes the country heavily reliant on already struggling agriculture and tourism. Similarly, manufacturing in the Gambia employs only about 5% of the workforce, reflecting the sector's underdevelopment. This lack of industrial job opportunities contributes to high unemployment rates, especially among youth, who make up more than 60% of the population, as per the International Labor Organization. This is equally proven considering the nation's heavy dependency on outside products. According to the African Development Bank, the Gambia relies on imports for more than 90% of its industrial inputs, including raw materials and machinery. This high dependence on imports not only increases production costs but also makes the country vulnerable to global supply chain disruptions and currency fluctuations. This explains the Gambian dalasi running faster than its shadows in a downward spiral. The sixth major Achilles heel is the Gambia's financial sector limitations. The financial sector in the Gambia is underdeveloped, with limited access to credit and financial services, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises. As of 2021, only 24% of adults in the Gambia have access to formal financial services, such as bank accounts, compared to the sub-Saharan African average of 43%. This limited financial inclusion restricts access to credit and savings, stifling business growth and personal financial security. Besides, the Gambia's banking system is controlled by a few players, making it difficult for a broader incorporation. According to the Gambian Bureau of Statistics, over 80% of total bank assets in the Gambia are concentrated in just 3 banks, indicating a highly oligopolistic market. This concentration reduces competition, limits innovation in financial products, and restricts the overall growth of the financial sector, ultimately restricting economic revival. This is a humble reminder to please like this video and subscribe to the African Pacific YouTube channel. Show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much, much appreciated. The last item choking the Gambian economy is the issue of insecurity. This might not come as a surprise regarding the country's sudden spike in activities jeopardizing security. As highlighted by the Gambia Police Force report from 2019 to 2022, the Gambia experienced a 45% increase in reported crime rates, including theft, robbery, and assault. This rise in crime has created an environment of insecurity that discourages both local and foreign investment, negatively impacting economic growth. In the tourism domain, as reported by the Gambia Tourism Board, tourism, a key pillar of the Gambia's economy, saw a 30% decline in revenue in recent years, partly attributed to safety concerns among travelers. Reports of increasing petty crimes and harassment have deterred tourists, leading to a significant loss in foreign exchange earnings and job opportunities. Clearly, this is a big challenge that the government hasn't stood up to, as businessmen fear the worst. According to a 2023 survey, 70% of businesses in the Gambia reported that security issues, including theft and vandalism, are major constraints to their operations. These security challenges increase the cost of doing business due to the need for additional security measures and insurance, as proposed by the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. These are the 7 biggest killers holding the Gambian economy on its knees and dragging it behind at an alarming rate. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching and stay safe.